Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. The 79th Annual Frontier Days drew a crowd out to Kinetic Park as it continued a summer tradition for Swift Current and area. As the temperatures heat up throughout the summer season, you're reminded to take precautions when outdoors. The City of Swift Current and the board for the Saskatchewan Hockey Hall of Fame have struck a new deal, which will see the city taking over the operation of the facility. Thanks for joining us here today. The annual Frontier Days exhibition was another crowd pleaser in Swift Current. We bring you some of the highlights in our top story. The 79th Annual Frontier Days drew a crowd out to Kinetic Park as it continued a summer tradition for Swift Current and area, offering an array of entertainment for all ages over 4 days. This included the celebration of the 100th anniversary of 4-H in Saskatchewan, bringing youth into the spotlight through the livestock shows and equestrian competitions, to the ever-popular CCA Rodeo, which filled the grandstands show after show, an annual event bringing the community together.
Because we get to celebrate where we came from, our Western heritage, and I just love that, because we all came from ranchers, and agriculture was a big part of it. So for me, that's the best part. Plus, it's where I can bring my kids and my grandchild, and it's a safe environment, and we just have fun.
Well, for some, like Wade Rempel, Frontier Days is a walk down memory lane.
Well, I used to come here when we were kids, and Dad used to pick up here for Myers in the early 50s and 60s, and we'd come here as kids, and I remember, seeing Tom Buse and Mel Coleman and, guys like that riding broncs, and it was always special, and it was the biggest event that we ever come to as kids. And when I started to pick up here, it was an honor to come here.
The Midway also offered an array of entertainment from thrilling rides to exotic wildlife. And indoors at the stockade among the many vendors was the ever-popular Maple Leaf Fudge booth. Debbie Shand is originally from Niagara Falls and now calls Swift Current home for the past 20 years. A familiar face at Frontier Days, she travels the trade show and exhibition circuit for 6 months out of the year, selling the crowd favorites like caramel apples and the famous Maple Leaf Fudge, a recipe which she's mastered over the years, offering up to 36 flavors, including jalapeno, maple bacon, and strawberry.
You have to get the fudge to the proper temperature or it won't set. If you go too high, it's too hard. If you go too low, it's just very runny and you can't use it. When the temperature is, you pour it onto the granite, and then the granite cools it down. So about 15 minutes after that, you can cream it, which just means you're walking around the table and you're putting air into it, which gives it texture. And about 5-10 minutes after that, you can put it into the box, and about 15 minutes after that, you cut it.
Coinciding with Frontier Days was the Canada 150 celebration, which saw crowds lining the streets of Swift Current to watch the over 100 entries in the annual parade. Float after float saluted Canada's special day, while pleasing the crowd with a candy treat. The celebration moved on to Memorial Park, where guests dressed in a sea of red and white, marking the occasion of Canada's 150. Among those celebrating was Ikashana Degala. Ikashana moved here from the Philippines 8 years ago with her family, and now officially a Canadian citizen, was given the honor of raising the Canadian flag, an experience she won't soon forget.
Just the weight of the responsibility on my shoulder, right? Raising the flag, not just the act of raising the flag, but being at the Welcome Center, being a new Canadian citizen, and just embracing the Canadian citizenship, and of course my being a Filipino as well.
A day of celebrating Canada's 150th, while showing community pride, a sense of volunteerism, and unity.
Canada Day means we live in a country where we can free and do things, and it just means a celebration.
Over 1,200 participants took part in the Canada 150 celebration at Memorial Park, hosted by Tourism Swift Current and its presenting partners. For over 12 years, Southwest TV News has provided the visuals for the defining moments in our community. Support your community and help us to continue our work. Support our sponsors by watching the ads on YouTube and by clicking the ads on our website. Pennies per click, which will help us continue to bring you the award-winning news coverage you've come to expect from Southwest TV News.
The Cypress Hills Interprovincial Park is a popular destination for tourists throughout the summer months. Guests from around the world come to the park to be one with nature and enjoy the many amenities from camping, hiking trails, and more.
There's nothing quite so pretty as the hills that shouldn't be.
As hot and humid conditions continue in the Swift Current and area forecast, you're being reminded to protect yourself from heat stroke. As the temperatures heat up throughout the summer season, you're reminded to take precautions when outdoors. Along with the burning UV rays from the sun and the need to wear a broad-spectrum sunscreen, people of all ages should be alert of the signs of heat exhaustion.
If you start feeling dizzy when you're outdoors, or it's really warm and you don't feel like you're sweating properly, because with a lot of humidity you can't sweat the way you normally would, then it's an indication you've got to be careful. Don't strain yourself too much. Avoid being out there for too long. If you do have to be out, make sure, one, you are hydrated, because a lot of people don't drink enough and then go outside, and then the dehydration also kicks in. Wearing light clothing, that's not going to cause too much retention of heat. And for babies too, that's very important. When mothers taking babies outdoors and it's pretty warm, don't have them bundled in too much, because they will get a lot of heat effect. And young children, babies, and older adults are more prone to this condition, because they respond to heat in a slower manner, so they will accumulate more heat.
If you are feeling any of these symptoms, get into a cool environment immediately. Apply cold compresses or take a cold shower. And if symptoms persist or worsen, seek medical attention immediately. Dr. Torr further adds that some forms of heat exhaustion can also occur indoors if there isn't proper ventilation or cooling during the hot weather season.
At the same time, it's important, if you are indoors and it's not air conditioned, to make sure you don't get too much heat and then suffer from heat stroke and things like that. So it's really a lot of precautions, and for individuals without air conditioning, it's advisable make sure they don't wear heavy clothing, and if they can get to a place where there is air conditioning, go to a mall or something like that, or a friend's place.
Every summer, many individuals are hospitalized for heat exhaustion. Therefore, by rationing your time in the direct sun, staying hydrated with water rather than soft drinks or alcohol, you can safely enjoy the summer season. Imagine a destination where you can enjoy world-class dining and unique accommodations. Take a leisurely stroll through streets filled with rich history while browsing for that perfect gift. Buy fresh produce from the farmers market and enjoy a range of cultural events while stepping back in time to learn more about Canada's Old West. Your summer destination is awaiting you in Maple Creek. For event listings and all things Maple Creek, visit our website. Mark October 18th through 21st on your calendar and plan to attend the CCA Finals Rodeo in Swift Current. The top cowboys and cowgirls will compete in all of your favorite rodeo events, vying for the CCA Championship title. And wrap up your weekend with the CCA Finals Rodeo Cabaret featuring Sweet Tequila. Get your tickets now for the CCA Finals Rodeo, October 18th through 21st in Swift Current. The City of Swift Current and the Saskatchewan Hockey Hall of Fame have come to a new agreement. We find out more in this report. The City of Swift Current and the board for the Saskatchewan Hockey Hall of Fame have struck a new deal, which will see the city taking over the operation of the facility, located at the Innovation Credit Union Iplex. Discussion surrounding this new development was brought forward during the recent council meeting in Chambers. According to the city's general manager of community services, the Hall of Fame board approached the city about the transition several months ago. Details of the 10-year contract include the Saskatchewan Hockey Hall of Fame paying the city an annual operating grant of $35,000, plus $5,000 for annual maintenance, and a capital repayment plan for the balance of the construction costs of the facility, valued at $350,000. With city staff now overseeing full operation of the facility.
First of all, it's in a city facility, so we actually have maintenance staff there. We have exhibit staff within the city. So for us to take it over and operate it as one of our buildings already isn't new to us. And we see it as if promoted and marketed properly, to be another good attraction to the city of Swift Current and Southwest. We see it once again as being the hub. We'll take it over and we'll really concentrate between August and April to provide the programming. We'll go a little deeper into sending out notices and whatnot to the various minor sport and leagues in Southwest Saskatchewan especially, but all over, and encourage them to, when they get coming into Swift Current for games, to come check out the Hall of Fame. And believe it or not, a lot of people haven't been in there yet, so it is a really good deal. So it's a 10-year agreement. Looking forward to working with their board and operating the Hall of Fame on their behalf.
More information on the Saskatchewan Hockey Hall of Fame is available online.
We are beaming to you from Swift Current, beaming with pride.
Market Square is a summer tradition in downtown Swift Current, featuring live entertainment, fresh garden produce, crafts, and other unique vendors. Drop by Market Square every Saturday at the corner of Central and Chaplin. Proudly presented by the City of Swift Current, Standard Motors, Innovation Credit Union, and Southwest TV News. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at southwesttvnews.com. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.